Hello and welcome to this food for thought tutorial on composting. We've been asked a few questions on composting. Composting isn't complicated, it's as simple as it can be. I don't like to go out and buy those expensive plastic compost bins. I prefer to use reclaimed pallets. So these are just 3 pallets, well there's 4 pallets in all because I made these slats with the 4th one. These slats are just to keep the contents secure really and stop them falling out, because this is a valuable produce, compost. It feeds your plants, so it is a valuable product and we don't want to lose it. So they're just to keep it all contained. Like I say, these are just 4 pallets that I used. I've put 3 up and I've put these tree stakes that I picked up from somewhere that they were being thrown out. They were old. So one thing you have to bear in mind, if these are old, there's a good chance that they're going to splinter when you're knocking them in, so make sure you do wear a good pair of safety glasses. I'll talk about them again. What I've got is I've got two per pallet. I've driven in the other ones, but I'll just talk to you about the hammer. This is my old trusted hammer. I've had this for a long while, so I do trust it. But every time I use it, I would always check that the head is intact, that there's no loose bits on it. I would check the shaft for any cracks or damage to it. But I'm happy to use this, so I would just drive these in. I would wear a safety helmet as well. I'm not going to drive these in because my colleague who'd assist me is filming at the moment. Another tip is to put your weight behind it. So again, wearing your safety glasses. I would ask my colleague to put his weight behind it while I drove the nails in or put the screws in. But again, the safety glasses are very important because there is a chance that the nail could ricochet up, or bits of the nail or screws even splinter off and go into your eye. So I would recommend that you always wear safety glasses. The reason my colleague would put his weight behind it is to stop the vibrations, and they go in a lot easier. So if you can have a 2-man job, it's a lot easier than that. I won't dwell too much about the composting because I'll talk about that at the next site, because what we're looking for is a good 2 parts brown to 1 part green, but I'll discuss that later on to you. Another thing I like to do is cover the compost heap up. Excuse my back at this moment, I'll just put these back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover it when I leave it here with cardboard, just to keep the rainwater off it really. I want to keep as little water going in there as I can, which is hard in this climate. I have an old carpet that I found in a skip. What that does is it keeps the heat in, keeps the rainwater out to some degree, but it also stops any seeds from going in. You know, it suppresses any weed seeds that's in there that blow in from everywhere. So I'll just move on to the next site and discuss more about the green and the brown composting. Today I'm going to show you how to compost. Composting, a lot of people think is very complicated, but it isn't. All you have to remember is there's 2 types of composting. You've got your green and you've got your brown. Right. This is just an old packing crate that we had some plants delivered in. I thought, I'm not going to throw it away, it's ideal for a composting bin. You could make one out of an old pallet or any old wood that you have lying around. You can buy some, but these look far better in the garden. You know, decorate it, paint it how you want it. Siting is an important thing. You don't want to be putting your compost bin onto an area of your garden that you could use for growing. I've put it here because we struggle with the trees that's around us here, so I put it here under the trees, and I've got my my leaf matter here, so it's easy to go on. So I'll just talk again about the two types of composting. Composting is very important because your compost is food for your vegetables. Okay, so we have two sorts, like I say, we have green and we have brown. This is farmyard manure. It's brown in colour, but it's actually green. When I talk about green, I'm talking about something that's living, and brown is something that's dead. Dead leaves, old cardboard, paper. So the green, which your grass cuttings and your kitchen waste, your tea bags, your coffee grounds, these are all what we class as green material. These add nitrogen to your compost, whereas your brown, your paper, your leaves, your cardboard, your sawdust, that's all carbon that it's going to add. So what we're looking for is 1 part green to 2 parts brown. So if I put a bucket of green material, so my kitchen waste, my grass, so if I put a bucket of green material in, I will add 2 buckets of what we class as brown material, our leaves. These are old leaves that we've collected off the park. You know, you don't have to buy anything. When you're going out for a walk in the park, bring a carrier bag with you or an old bucket or a box. Just gather them up in autumn and save them. Okay, what more can I say? This would normally take about 9 to 12 months to fully compost down. But if you wanted to speed the action up, you could just turn it once a month. Just get your fork in there and turn it once a month. I also like to break down anything. So if I was cutting up a banana skin, cut it up. It helps to break down. You can situate this onto the ground if you want. The reason I've got it raised is because I've put this old brick builder's sack in here just to stop me losing the compost in the early stages. So once I get a good layer in here, I'll actually take that off. But it is also handy covering it up, because with the climate that we have here, we get a lot of rain. So it's just to reduce the amount of water that's going in there. So I've got a nice cover. But like I say, once I get a good layer of compost in there, I'll take this off and let it fall to the ground. That's how I'll do it. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.